I honestly thought we were past this. I thought surely people are smart enough by now to spot the oldest trick in the book. But apparently, the collective IQ of the internet has taken another nosedive. Welcome back to the channel. Today we need to talk about the new old grift. It's a plague that is sweeping through YouTube right now. It's a selling pigs scam. It seems like overnight, every failed bettor, every wannabe influencer, and every two-bit hustler looked at what the other scammers were doing and said, "Hey, I want a piece of that." They see one clown making money selling useless pigs, so they all decide to jump the bandwagon. Everybody is doing it now. Take Blacksmith Bets Ben. Look at this absolute clown show. He's running a Telegram group funneling people in, cashing in on the desperation of people who want a quick buck. It's a digital equivalent of a guy in a trench coat selling fake watches. And look who else decided to jump the bandwagon. Trading the market. Remember them? We already exposed these frauds as fake gurus. They couldn't trade their way out of a paperback. But now, suddenly they are selling pigs over at Patreon. They failed at doing, they failed at teaching, so now they are charging you a monthly subscription to follow their blind guesses. It's pathetic. But it's not just them. It's everywhere. Let me explain exactly how this works, because they all use the exact same playbook. Step 1, they spam free tips. They throw as much mud at the wall as possible to hook you in. Step 2, they wait for a lucky streak. Because variance exists, eventually they will hit a few winners in a row. It's inevitable. Step 3, they scream about the wins and bury the losses. If they win, they are geniuses. If they lose, silence, or they delete the post. Step 4, the pivot. Once they have that lucky streak, they tell you, the real money is in the VIP group. The big plays are on Patreon. Here's a reality check for anyone thinking about signing up. If someone actually had a consistent edge against the market, selling it to randoms on YouTube would be the dumbest way to monetize it. If you have an edge, you bet it yourself with big stakes. You don't need Patreon supporters. Both the free picks and the paid picks are worthless. They are garbage. The only guaranteed profit in this equation is the subscription money leaving your bank account and going into the guru's pocket. But because people don't understand variance, they confuse a coin flip with skill. They see 3 wins in a row and hand over their credit card. So here's your early warning signal. If you see a channel suddenly start offering free picks out of nowhere, run. The scam is coming right after. But today we need to talk about a special kind of idiot. A channel that is growing rapidly, which is frankly a depressing indictment of the human race. I'm talking about expert football betting. This channel is a perfect example of the idiot feedback loop. You have a guy with zero skill, zero knowledge, and zero proof sitting in a room giving the most generic bullshit tips imaginable. And people are flocking to it. It's a reflection of our society. Actually, it's worse than that. It's a defining pathology of our era. We're living in the golden age of the confident idiot. Think about it. This isn't just about betting. Look around you. Look at our political landscape. We have stopped rewarding competence and started rewarding confidence. We don't want the boring guy with the correct math who tells us the hard truth, that the market is efficient, that change is hard, that you probably won't win. That guy makes us feel small. No, we want the loud guy, the guy who slams the table, the guy who tells us exactly what we want to hear, regardless of whether it's true. We trade reality for comfort. We trade facts for feelings. This is a democracy of dunces. In a world governed by algorithms, the truth doesn't go viral. Rage does. False hope does. Simplicity does. The algorithm is designed to find the lowest common denominator and amplify it to the moon. And expert football betting, he is the ultimate beneficiary of this decay. He thrives because he's relatable. He doesn't intimidate his audience with actual statistical modeling or complex risk management. He sits there, just like them, guessing. And they see themselves in him. It is a support group for the incompetent, led by the king of the blind. They aren't following him because he is right. They are following him because he validates their own ignorance. He calls himself an expert. Let's test that theory, shall we? Now, in preparation for this video, I went through his channel. I tortured myself by watching his content. And folks, it is unbelievable. I'm not exaggerating when I say I could make a dedicated 5-hour-long documentary just listing this guy's fails. It's literally fail after fail after fail. The density of stupidity is actually impressive. He has no clue what he is talking about. But for today, just to show you the level of idiocy we are dealing with, I've picked out just a few cherries. Let's start at the beginning. His very first video. Look at this banner. Read it with me. Don't follow social media tipsters. You cannot make this up. The irony is so thick you could cut it with a knife. He started his channel warning you about the exact type of parasite he has now become. He's literally doing the one thing he told you not to do. Don't follow social media tipsters unless it's me and I want your money. But let's get into the meat of his expertise. He has actually shown his results only once. This was about 2 years ago. And in that video, he provides one of the most pathetic, awkward justifications for hiding his account that I have ever heard. Listen to him try to explain why he won't tell you how much money he is actually making.
So you're probably watching this thinking, well, how much did you actually get in terms of money then, in profit? Well, the thing is, there's no point me sharing how much I'm staking because I don't want you guys thinking, oh, I'm staking this, so you can do that too. And, you've got to kind of look at your own situation with your own money. And that's why I like looking at points, because if you do £5 a bet, then you can work out times it by 8 and that's how much profit you would have got. Or if you're doing £70 per bet, times that by 8, then you would have seen how much profit you would have got being in the group. So there's no point me saying, oh, I do a £2,000 a bet, I do £1 a bet or whatever. Just think of what you're doing. Don't worry about other people.
Don't worry about other people. Mate, you are selling advice. We have to worry about you because you are the one claiming to be an expert. Do you hear that word salad? Do you hear the panic in his voice? I don't want to show you my stakes because I don't want you to think stuff. Let me translate that from scammer to English for you. He isn't hiding his stakes to protect you. He's hiding them because either A, he's betting £1 per game because he has zero confidence in his own tips, or B, he isn't placing the bets at all. And as we are about to see, option B is a much more likely case. Because what does he finally show us? A spreadsheet. A spreadsheet. Now, there are 2 layers to why this is absolute garbage. First, the obvious fake. For anyone who has ever actually bet on an exchange like Betfair, you know something fundamental. The commission. If you actually place these bets on an actual exchange, you don't get the full payout. The house takes a cut. If this guy had placed these bets in real life, his account balance would not show a clean profit of 8.02 points. The math is literally impossible if you are actually betting. He forgot the commission. He is faking his results on a spreadsheet and he is so incompetent he forgot to factor in the platform fees. This is proof positive that he is paper trading. He didn't place the bets. If he did, he would have looked at his balance and seen a different number. You are taking financial advice from a man who doesn't even know how the platform fees work. But let's play make-believe. Let's pretend he did make 8.02 points. It doesn't matter. We have pointed this out in multiple videos. Remember our Monte Carlo simulations? Remember our breakdown of FTS income? A profit of 8 points is statistically insignificant. It means absolutely nothing. Any idiot can flip a coin and get heads 5 times in a row. That isn't skill. That is variance. The typical dumb follower sees a green number and thinks, wow, he knows the future. No, he got lucky on a tiny sample size. You are paying for noise. You are paying for random fluctuation. You are looking at a guy who faked his homework, and even the fake homework shows the result so small it proves he has no edge. But it gets worse. Much worse. Because after proudly showing his totally insignificant 8.02 points, he does not stop there. He does what all fake gurus eventually do. He projects fantasy returns. He puts up a projection, a fantasy spreadsheet, to show you what happens if you supposedly make this profit every single month for a year. He tells his audience, 8 points is actually a lot. And then he explains how, if you just assume 8 points every single month, forever, starting with just £10 stakes, you end up with over £4,000 after the first year already. This is where the math completely slips. Notice what he just did. He quietly smuggled in an assumption so insane it should set off alarm bells immediately. That his random, unverified, tiny sample result will continue every month as a minimum. That is not how betting works. That is not how probability works. That is not how reality works. There is no such thing as a guaranteed monthly points return in betting. Not even the best bettors on the planet have smooth, linear growth. They have losing months. They have drawdowns. They have flat periods, sometimes long ones. What he is selling here is not a betting strategy. It is a spreadsheet fantasy. This is how scammers sell dreams. They take one small green month, then they pretend it's a guaranteed monthly salary. They turn a random streak into a compounding machine. and they sell you the spreadsheet fantasy instead of a verified track record. If this logic were valid, every coin flipper who had a lucky month would be a millionaire within a few years. So his one proof video consists of an awkward excuse to hide his account, a calculation error that proves he is paper trading, a result so small it proves absolutely nothing anyway, and then a dangerous, utterly false projection selling you a fantasy of guaranteed compounding profits that simply doesn't exist in reality. In the nearly 2 years since, there has been no follow-up, no full track record, no transparency, and no accountability. This is who people are trusting with their money. This is what passes for an expert now. This isn't a game. Expert football betting, Blacksmith Bets Ben, trading the market, these aren't content creators. They are financial predators. They are selling snake oil to desperate people who are hoping to catch a break in a tough economy. They are leeching off the vulnerable. None of these clowns are eligible to give financial advice. None of them have a track record that stands up to scrutiny. They are lying to you. These scammers need to be locked up. Selling financial advice or betting tips with fraudulent records is a crime. It is fraud. Plain and simple. If you have paid money to expert football betting, trading the market, or any of these other Telegram hustlers, and you realized you have been sold a lie, do not just unsubscribe. Contact Report Fraud. That is the new National Reporting Center. Report them. Report the payment links. Tell them you were sold a service based on false promises. These clowns belong in a cell, not in your subscription feed. Stop funding these idiots. Stop falling for variants. And for the love of God, stop buying pigs. Until next time.
Guru Busters!